fighting a scorpion scorpion, and that is final. Shut up! Oh my God, I don't care.
FilmVist. Episode 4. We just watched it. What did you think?
Another goddamn filler episode.
Yeah.
What is happening?
Yeah, it wasn't great.
What are they doing? Do you think they should have done like 8 episodes instead of 10 or something like that? Because, wow. I mean, they've devoted an entire episode to Kenny.
Yeah, is Kenny like a super popular character? Because for me, he's kind of in the background. I thought it was kind of a joke anyway, they're making him deputy. I mean, he wasn't my first choice. Yeah, I mean, at least he's kind of grown up and maturing, and I get that he's replacing Boyd. But Boyd's still got stuff to give. I could live without Kenny, I'm not gonna lie.
No, I like Kenny. Kenny's a good guy. If they did this episode, I would have been okay if they didn't have a filler episode last
before
week.
it.
Yeah. In which they had character development. And it was mentioned in our comment section last week. Why did they have a filler episode in which none of them talked? I would have been okay last week if they had all met back up, all talked to each other about what they'd seen, what was going on, how they could possibly get out of it. I'd have been okay with that. But the fact that they didn't felt like last week was a bit of a waste. And then to do this week, they've done it a bit better, as in Jim's starting to talk to Tabitha. But there's still people like Victor not talking. And then kind of devoting an entire episode to Kenny. I don't think it had the payoff. Because we already knew Sara had let the monsters in to kill Kenny's dad, I don't think it quite had the emotional payoff that I think they were going for. Because we already know who did it. It would have been a bigger shock if we discovered who did it.
Yeah.
But the fact that we already know who did it, it takes away some of that value, so I don't see why they devoted an entire episode to this.
Yeah, it was such an emphasis on Kenny, wasn't it? I guess it's supposed to be his denouement or something. I'm not sure what he's going to do next episode, but I kind of wish that he'd done whatever he's about to do at the end of this episode, rather than it just being an episode of setting up the next episode. We're waiting now. We've been waiting for a while for a big plot point.
Yeah, the fact that he's thrown down his deputy badge. It's a small town. Does it really need multiple people to police it, I guess? Donna did more in maintaining order than Kenny did last time, or when the people got off the bus. So, is it a big loss? I feel like Kenny kind of needs another dimension to him.
Yeah.
And he just doesn't quite have that at the moment, and I think that's why it's kind of fallen a bit flat, that they didn't have another angle, because obviously his love interest kind of dying out, and also we already knew who killed his dad. What other kind of surprise, unless Kenny started having visions of the boy in white or something like that, and then was being told to kill Sara off or something, that might have made a good plot point. But the very fact that all it is kill Sara, I don't really have an objection to that. She's killed multiple people.
You and this again.
She's killed multiple people, first of all.
How many times are you going to say that, mate?
She's got a bigger kill count than some of the monsters.
I'm going to start counting the amount of times you say that.
There's no current reason to have Sara alive right now, apart from the fact that she is
She's
seen the boy
key.
in white. How is she key?
Because she has the visions. She has visions, she hears the voices.
Victor has visions.
Not the same ones, though.
Ethan sees the boy in white.
Not the same ones.
So the ones that Sara get are to kill. Why is that helpful?
We don't know. She never got to. You see? Don't put her in the box.
Put her in the box. Box. Type in the comments box if you agree.
Right, are you pro-box or anti-box?
I am
Let us
absolutely
know.
pro-blocks.
I'm really into Roblox. I'm really into Roblox.
I love Roblox.
Are you pro blocks or no blocks? Wasn't a huge lot to go off this week, but the major points that we learned about were, 1, we did see a lot of chess references. What do you think about the chess?
I actually think Magnus Carlsen is now behind everything. There's too many chess related things. It's actually just one big game of chess.
Yeah,
there's too many chess references. Like, they need to calm down with that. 1, okay, multiple, steady on, and now they're just kind of ramming it down our throats, and it's just a bit like, settle down.
So yeah, you think the final boss is going to be that Russian grandmaster when he comes out and scares the 9-year-old?
Yeah.
That's the big reveal.
12-го чемпиона мира по шахматам, международного гроссмейстера, заслуженного мастера спорта СССР Анатолия Карпова.
Kasparov, whoever it is. He's going to just walk out in his suit. So, other big plot point we saw was Baktka, who is the woman who drove the bus. Sorry if I butchered that name. She hasn't actually said her name yet.
It's got
to my
like
knowledge.
5 letters. How are you butchering it?
The bus driver.
Go on, say Nova Scotia again.
It's Nova Scotia, and I don't care about all the people in the comments who are telling me it's not.
He went home and cried after that.
No, I didn't. I went home and Googled it and found out that Google was wrong. So Jade was talking to Batka, who's the bus driver, and he was finding out that she had just achieved her dream, which was to get a degree, and he had just sold his company, and he was putting those two thoughts together. So they'd both just achieved what was a dream or a big moment in their life. Boyd obviously had just got his boat. Do you think there's a connection there? Is he on the right thought path?
There might be a connection in happiness. See, it kind of goes back to emotions. See, I don't think it's greed or something. I think it might be related to they were happy. They were elated that they have just completed their dreams. And then the other side of that is Kenny wasn't happy when he came here.
The
Matthews were arguing when they came here. Both were in heightened states of emotion, but not necessarily the same emotion.
Yeah, that's true.
Therefore, it could be possible that it's not necessarily to do with sins or something like that, but it's just feeding off of emotion, and it's taking very emotional people and putting them into this place. And now we're going to take a look at some comments from last week's video. Please comment your predictions below for a chance of being read out on next week's episode. So the next comment is from Soraya. They could have done so much more with this episode. I feel like the series have strong starts but no endings. We feel the exact same about this episode.
Yeah, it was a massive filler episode, wasn't it?
Another one, back-to-back filler episodes. I mean, the only person that was really starting to talk about stuff was Jim with Tabitha. And even he only did that with Tabitha. Boyd is shutting up. I mean, the only real thing we've got from this is Kenny wants to put Sarah in the box. And I say let him. Let him. I mean, at this point, Sarah's racked up more kills than actual monsters. So, yeah, you know what? Put her in the box. Another comment from Myra Carroll. I felt like this was such a waste of an episode. They missed so many things, forgot the wires, mad that no one talked about the monsters had been living under the house the entire time. Yeah, that is a good point. Why did no one talk about them living under the house? I mean, that is infuriating to think that they have been right below your feet. They are still right below their feet, and no one has gone, you know, they're actually down there, right? It's like, no, they're not even going to investigate of like, why did they sleep down there? You know, are they scared of sunlight? Are there other monsters hunting them?
Could you block off the entrance where Tabitha and Victor got out of the horror? Could you block it off?
Just hang up a talisman on the edge of the tunnel.
Oh, good shout.
There's got to be tunnels that they could just hang up the talisman. We found out this episode that the talisman only works when it's hung up. Doesn't matter if it's on the floor or whatever. It kind of begs the question, though, how they get in from some of the earlier episodes when it is still hung up, but the window's open.
Oh, no, it's on the floor, pointedly on the floor in all the scenes. So it seems like the first thing the monster does...
That's after they get in.
Yeah, the first thing the monster does is put the thing on the floor, or magic, it falls on the floor.
But that's after they get in, not before.
Yeah, after. Yeah.
So they have to open the window or door.
Yeah.
And then it just suddenly stops working. So maybe it doesn't work out. Yeah. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe the talisman wouldn't work on the edge of the tunnel then because it's in the open.
So this is a comment from Vanessa Rila Rose. I am so glad you made a video on this. I also found that interesting. The creatures that took her and Brian, I am sure, was in first season. The guy that said hello to Julie in the first episode and the girl who was in the colony house when they got in. They maybe have evolved. As Boyd has said, they used to howl until the talismans arrived. And with all these changes, the actual monsters have changed themselves, becoming more human in a slightly sadistic way. And now that there is more thought to why they are killing them, like the smiling guy on the bus being fascinated with the wheel, I believe that they were human before. What do you think?
I don't think they were quite human. I think they may have taken human form of someone they have killed, but I don't think they were initially human. If they were human and Victor have been there before, surely he would notice one of them. Surely he would know the mailman. Surely he would know the milkman. The other people, the cheerleaders or whatever, around the cheerleader and the jock around especially when he was underground with them. Surely he would have been like, oh, that's Debbie, or there's Dave. So I don't think they were human, but I think they've taken human form of someone they have potentially killed previously.
They've definitely taken their stuff, though, because he recognised some of the materials and he recognised the dolls, so maybe they've stolen human stuff.
Yeah, which is kind of weird when you think about why they would take stuff and then hoard it downstairs, and then those same items would then appear in people's visions. I don't get quite what the connection is, especially with the puppet, because when Victor sees the puppet, he gets very, very scared. So what is the connection of them taking items, unless those items had a particular emotional connection, and whether they feed off of that emotional connection?
Which is what Jim theorised. As I said last episode, it's Monsters Inc. for adults. It's all about the Screamo meter. It's Dark Monsters Inc.
Maybe the monsters are robots.
What? Where did this theory come from?
If they can see and hear everything in the town, what's to stop them from being remote controlled? They've got microchips in their brains.
It's very late here. We've run out of good theories.
Man, that episode was dry.
Yeah, we've gotten to the stage where now we think it's Futurama. Yeah, I don't know. So if you think the voice on the radio was actually the next level of monster, or the people who control the monsters, then what do you think the whole point is? Do you think it is an experiment? Do you think they shouldn't be talking like Donna says?
I don't really see what the downside is. They're already trying to kill them. What are they going to do? I don't know, torture them before... But they already torture them before they eat them, so there's literally no downside to just saying...
Well.
Is there a downside,
Quicker
though?
death, I suppose?
That is something to look forward to, isn't it? So, put your predictions in the comment section for episode 5. It can't be any drier than episode 4 or 3. Got anything to add?
Make sure to watch our episode when it comes out. We'll drop it on the Monday or Tuesday after the episode airs on Sundays. And make sure to watch our episode 3 if you haven't already.